All right, let's go over. I'm going to start something for my clan, and it's going to be underrated rares or underrated champions because it may not be rares. I may go into epics a little bit later on, but my first one's going to be Hyria. I have a special place for Hyria because she was the first champion that helped me get over 1 million on easy. So I know a long time ago, but she's a great beginning to mid game champion. If you get her, don't be disappointed. A lot of people I see whenever you ask a question, you always go, "Is this a good champion?" Well, this to me, she's a very solid champion. Um, First, we'll go over how I got her geared. I got her in a life steal set. I probably should have gave her defensive gloves instead of crit gloves because her defense is kind of weak. But she does have high HP, and she is pretty fast. And really, you want her fast so that she can get off. You know, not so much her A1, but her A2 and A3 are the abilities that really make her a good champion. So let's go over those abilities. Let's look at her A1. A1, her best bet is her. It basically has an extra 25% chance to crit. I guess if you get anything on an A1 for a rare, it makes it a little bit better, but it's kind of meh. It's not what makes this champion really good. Let's look at her A2. Her A2 is what I used to think was the best thing about her. What does it? It lays down, has a chance to lay down 5% poisons on whatever target it hits. It hits 3 times, and it has a 40% chance of laying down the poisons because of the masteries that I put on her. So this, I was thinking, man, that's a pretty good ability. Just this alone puts her as a real good beginning level poisoner. But her third ability is what really puts her over the top for me. It's called Lead the Charge. And it's kind of like the poor man's version of counterattack. It's also the no thinking version of counterattack. You don't have to set it up and time it out. It's going to happen no matter what. Whenever it goes off, it's going to automatically go off. And what it does is that she attacks and she brings 2 other people with her. So that attack is very useful in Clan Boss, and it's very helpful, and I'll show you a little bit later on the reason why. But that to me, her A3 is her best ability. Anytime you can get, it's hard to get a counterattack champion. This is probably the next best thing. Is a ally attack champion. So let's go ahead and look. And then her last thing is her aura. Nothing big there. It's in arena. You're not going to probably use her in arena, maybe at the beginning, but she's not going to get you too much further than bronze 2. So she's not a very good arena champion. All right, these are the masteries I went with. It's pretty straightforward. I just went with offense, and I went straight down so that she could get the War Master, get a couple of extra 1,000 whenever she hits. And then I have I took her to the support tree, and the reason I went support tree were for these 3 abilities. One, I wanted to increase her whatever artifacts that I put on her. I wanted them to be more useful, so it gives a 15% jump to the HP. Next, Sniper. This gives her a 5% more chance of laying down those poisons. So I went Sniper. And then the last thing was, of course, is Master Hexer, which could extend the poisons from being on for 2 turns to 3 turns. So those are the ones this is the reason that I chose the support tree. All right, let's go ahead and let's see her in action. One keep that she does really well in is the Force Keep, or Force Dungeon, the Force Potion Dungeon. You'll see it in action here in a second. That was her poisonous lily. There goes her attack. You see, took 3 people in there. And then, of course, I've got this Septimus who's very good at clearing waves on the Force Keep. Now, you can keep in mind that every one of these are pretty much maxed out. Hyria's the only one that's not. And then you could do, that's the poison lily. It landed 1 poison. And then her lead the charge. And it ain't going to take too much longer to take him down. Now, I know that 2 of these champions are really hard to get, but if she's really good, and she can take pretty much anybody that you have in there. All right, this is what my end result was of the clan boss battle I did with her. This is on hard, and I got 20 million. This is an all rare team. In fact, there's no voids, so it's all rares, no voids. You even have a starter champion in there. Frozen Banshee, Apothecary, to me, are the 2 best rares out there, but there's so many so many guides on them, I don't need to worry about it. Coffin Smasher he's probably in between underrated. A lot of people know that he's really good. And then Aethel, she is what she is. You can see that everybody here pretty much did between 3 and 4,000, except for Frozen Banshee. Frozen Banshee is just an awesome poisoner. But let's go ahead and look at the clan boss battle and see how it ran. We'll go with it, and we'll see. You can see how the lead the charge and the poison lily really help you out on this. There you got your poison sensitivity, and you see that she already laid down 2 poisons. Okay, there you go. She hit all 3. So now all of the debuffs are maxed out on them. All right. Poison sensitivity's hit again. There goes your lead the charge. Okay. Basically, Coffin Smasher, that gave him a chance to lay down a attack down, and Aethel gets 3 hits. So basically, anybody she takes in there gets extra hits, and they've all got their masteries. So they're doing 73,000 if their Giant Slayer procs. There you go with it again. Her poison lily, she only landed 1. The one person that I'm missing, and I probably would replace Aethel with, is Marked, because then I'll have a rare defense down champion. But she's also on my list of underrated champions. All right, basically we've seen her in action here. The other dungeon that I think that she would really help out on is going to be Fire Knight. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Basically what she'll do is she'll take and hit him. I didn't want to go through it so long, but as you can see, to me, she's very underrated. If you get this champion, you may want to use her. You may want to level her up. I don't regret taking her to 6-star. I think that this is probably one of the best champions that's not in the top 10 on most people's lists. And that skill, lead the charge, is probably the most underrated skill there is. All right.